Welcome back to the Forex Fortress, day number, I don't know, doesn't matter what day it is, this thing's fucking rolling, baby. We're not stopping it, and I want to follow up on yesterday's short-term time frame analysis. So with that said, as always, we start off with the good old Dixie for today, and of course, we'll be following up on Bitcoin from this morning's video as well. Not really too much more to talk about there, but why not, man? Quick little minute, doesn't hurt anyone, and it's also good for the soul. Anyways, looking at the daily right here for Dixie, we did say yesterday, coming back down to about $93 even, of which I still stick with that. I'm still short-term, medium-term bearish here. Looking for literally 93 on the dot to actually get tested down towards, if we go down to here to a 4-hour, nice little clean breakdown, and I would be looking for a bounce off this $93 level right here. Just basically that last little prior low, but would I expect things to actually reverse from there? No, not really. I do believe that likely Dixie's going to head back down and test around 92 and a quarter. We'll call it to about 92 and a half, which is a long-term trend line, of which that's where I really do start to look for this low to be put in over a long period of time. So realistically, still looking for a reversal here on the very macro term. You know, still thinking like probably years down the road realistically, but the reversal, you know, probably does find its lows within this region over the next 6 months to a year, and then sets it up, you know, for the years to come. Anyways, with that in mind, of course, does that affect the 4-hour right here? Fuck no. Of course not. Well, I mean, in some way, tangentially speaking, but my point is that short-term bearishness does not necessarily coincide with the macro as we look at typically the weekly, monthly, and even higher term timeframes than that to judge that. So for right now, still kind of the same bias as yesterday. The strong US dollar pairings are likely going to be rallying. The weak ones likely going to be, well, not rallying as much, or in some cases actually following. I mean, I was just looking at Aussie dollar and just spoiled surprise. Looks like shit, Captain. Anyways, so with that sort of bias in mind, let's go over here and measure him up. Starting off with the man himself, Mr. Aussie dollar. And yesterday, completely got this one wrong. I was looking for a small pop back up to about 71.3 region. We never got that. We got up to about 71.2-ish, it looks like, and then quickly reversed from there. But the overall call on this one was to the downside, of course. And now that we have actually reached that prior low coming in from 25th of September, I would be looking for a little bit of a short-term bounce here. In fact, you can see it's getting a little bit of love right here on the hourly. I imagine that there's probably some bullish divergence here as well. Indeed, there is. And do I think that we're going to get a little bit of a short-term test to the upside, probably around like 70.5 cents? Probably yes. Now, does that mean that the overall downside is over right here? No, likely not, especially with the way that Dixie's acting. This one is just being a perennial fucking loser right now, and I would be looking for this one to come back down probably a little bit below 70 cents, somewhere around 69.75 over the next couple weeks, most likely. So with that in mind, short term again, very short term again. A little bit of a short term upside bounce. You know, anywhere around 70.56 would be fine by me. Although I don't necessarily have a strong opinion on that. My strong opinion is on further downside on the long term, actually. So with that in mind, we'll move on to the next one with Canadian dollar. And what do we see here? Looking for a little bit of upside still. I believe that we did hit yesterday's target back up to about 76 cents. We got, yeah, about 76.02. So I'd actually still be looking for this one to have a little more short-term upside. Yes, we are having, I suppose, like some very low-term time frame downside. Probably does trade back down towards the 75.80-ish region. But I do like this chart, at least on the daily. So kind of measuring everything up right now, a little bit of short-term downside. However, on the daily, I would be looking for this one to give another try back up, actually to about 76 cents and probably beyond. If 76 or even just yesterday's high at 76.02 gets taken out, I would extend that target over the next few days towards about 76.25, in fact. So again, very short-term. Hourly, probably down once again, maybe even as far down as 75-ish region. But I do look for it to pop back up and give another try to the upside, in line again with the bias that we set in on Dixie. How about Euro Australian dollar? This one looks fucking good right now, actually. In fact, this one's actually of particular interest right now. That's why I included it. Yes, okay, that's right. We're in the process of an actual daily breakout. So I do look for this one to head back up towards about 169-ish region. Do you think that that's pertinent to right now? And typically not something that I really talk about, but figured this one's in motion, and it's got a little bit of upside here on the daily, so I do like it. Euro pound, what do we see? Same thing. Yesterday we were looking for a little bit of a move to the upside at about 90, just above 91 cents. We've already got that today, so would I extend that target a little bit more? Yes, I would, actually. Up to about 91.5 cents region on the daily. Looking at a 4-hour right here, looking nice and powerful, breaking the 200 symbol to the upside. Just looking at structure here and the way that this one is moving alongside momentum oscillators. Yeah, I'd be looking for an extension on this run to about 91.4.5 to 91.5 even. Anywhere around here looks about good to me. Then probably another short-term pullback, and then we'll come back tomorrow and check it out. out. What about euro dollar? Euro dollar looking good. We did say yesterday a little bit above 118 was the short-term target, of which we have hit that right now. I'd extend that for another short-term move back up to 182.25 right here, just this last prior high. But here, oh, beef coming up right now. Sorry. Anyways, here's the big thing though with this one. If we take out this high on 9th of October, which is 183, 118.312, and this is very, very important. Like those numbers are very specific. Then I would look for an extension on the daily to about 118.75. So 118.7-ish region is where I'd be looking towards, somewhere around here, in line again with momentum oscillators, not just on the daily, but also on the 4 hour here too, looking nice and good. So yeah, short-term, medium-term bullish, and looking for a little more upside to follow up on that one. Pound yen, what did we say yesterday? I think yesterday we were looking for some short-term downside. We got that down to about 136.25. Now popping back up. What is my opinion on this one? This one I don't really have a strong opinion on right here. Very bizarre on the short-term time frames, as it typically is. This one's kind of like a shitcoin pumping up in a lot of ways. If I did have to call something right now, if you put a gun to my head and said, Crown, make a fucking call on this or die, I'd say, hey man, well, this is not that big of a deal. You can go trade something else. There's a lot of other coins right now that are a lot more obvious. But if I did call this one, what I call upside or downside, I'd probably be looking for another move back up here towards about 137 in 35 region. But I don't feel that strong about that one. What about pound dollar? What do we see here? Short-term downside. Let's go down to a low-term time frame like an hourly. Yeah, I'd be looking for some more downside on this one. Probably test back down towards, is this today's or yesterday's? No, this is actually today's low, back down around 129. Looks like. What does it look like on a daily, however? Daily doesn't look all that bad, in fact. So I would be, again, kind of feel the same way about this one as I do about pound yen. And of course, it's always the pound fucking pairs. Very, 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 very reliant on the geopolitical situation, especially with Brexit and all that good stuff. And fuck all of that, man. Fuck all of that. But yeah, if I had to call this one, again, I think that there's just better things to be trading. But yeah, back down around, what exactly was it on the hourly? Yeah, back down around here at about 129.25 or so. Just today's low thus far. And if we do take out today's low, then I would be looking for extension all the way back down to about just below 129 actually, 128.90. What do we have next? Yen dollar. Yen dollar yesterday was actually looking strong. I was completely wrong on this one. I was looking for a little bit of a move back up towards 95.20-ish region or 95.15-ish region. We didn't get that. And now it seems like it's going to be revealed that actually on the daily, I'd be looking for another move back down to about 94.50-ish region. What about the short-term timeframes? Are they inherently bearish as well? Yes, they are. Momentum oscillator is pointed to the south side, and a nice little breakdown below all major moving averages as they do cross in the bearish posturings. Yeah, I'll be looking for this one to pop back down. So yesterday, completely wrong in this one, but long term, I actually still do like it. To be fair, I actually still do like it. I do think that it will bounce off the off of the 94.50-ish region. But yes, that would imply some short-term downside at the very least. And if this area does fail, even though I would be looking for a short-term bounce off this region, if this area does fail over time on a higher term time frame, I'd be looking for us to retest back down somewhere towards the 94-ish region. What else do we got over here? Oh, we got some. Do we want to look at New Zealand? Someone asked actually for NZD-EUR. So let's go check that one out. Down, baby. Oh, down. This one's nasty right here. You are a nasty girl. 55 cents, 55.09 actually, because I realize that this is actually very, 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 very specific in its decimals. Yeah, 55. Let's see exactly what this is. 55.06 to 55.10-ish region. What about the very low term time frames? 4 hour right here, complete meltdown. Yeah, I would be looking for this one to pop back down a little bit more. The downside is calling you, my friend. It is calling you. What else do we got over here? Okay, yeah, that was New Zealand dollar, euro. Okay, so we looked at that one, All right, what else we got? Swiss franc dollar, and this one, yes, yesterday we were looking for some upside action, and our target was about 110 and some odd change. We've already met that target, and I'd be looking for a short-term pullback likely on the hourly, which I think that we're getting right now, actually, maybe even all the way back down to about 110.04 region, but I would be looking for it to try another bounce right there. Overall, this one very likely does try higher, so that is probably the main message that I want to have. Even though short-term time frame, maybe do have a short-term pullback. I really don't feel all that strongly about that, and it's just, you know, kind of minute moves there to begin with. I'd be looking for this one to make a legitimate try towards about 110.50, or sorry, 110.55 to 110.60 region back up here, in line with momentum oscillators. Once again, looking decent for a little bit more continuation. So we see a very mixed market. The strong ones are being very strong. The weak ones are completely fucking up versus, especially when Dixie's, you know, actually down in relationship to them. So very, 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 very interesting stuff right there. Let's go check out, actually, Zip brought this one up in the Discord earlier today. Why the fuck not, man? We're neighbors. And let's check out the Swedish krona versus dollar, of which I'd be bullish on here too. I'd be looking for this one on a daily to pop back up towards 1140-ish region, maybe even a little bit more than that over time, towards about 1150-ish region. Looking good. Get your fucking kroners out, because I like this one, actually. What about gold? Okay, actually, there was a really good conversation about this earlier today in the Discord about gold. I am... you know, I'm very hesitant on gold right now, because while Dixie is moving down, this would typically be the time for gold to shine. And hesitation within this region right here is not a death sentence, but it's also certainly not good. The ones that are strong, are relatively strong, are you know, if they can rally, they will rally. And in this case, you know, we've seen a bunch of currency pairs. We've all seen Bitcoin take a nice little leg up. Gold not following is not a good sign. So with that in mind, I actually am going to start to turn a little bit short-term bearish on here. I know that yesterday I did say I was looking for a move back up to about 1930. It gave a try towards 1920, but close enough is, or sorry, that is not close enough. This is still very obviously consolidating right here, but I would say that this is more or less a bearish consolidation as it is right now. But here's what could change my mind. If we do take out yesterday's high at 1918, I would look for that same move back up towards not just 1930, but more like 1935-ish region, with potential to get all the way back up towards 1969 after that, just because it's a great number. But for right now, I don't feel all that confident on this one. If I had to call it, I do think that this one does come under pressure, but it's not. It would certainly not be my preferred play. It's certainly not all that obvious. The only obvious play is getting above yesterday's high or below. Or sorry, is that yesterday's high? Yeah, that is yesterday's high, or below today's low at 1894.5. If that were to happen, I'd look for extension all the way back down here, just below 1880 actually. So there are some good pivots in mind, but a little bit of patience is going to be needed here, and just with the way that it act, you know, that it's acting. While I would be waiting for an actual resolution of those two ranges for that continuation play, I'd probably favor a little bit more on the downside if I just had to give my straight up opinion on it. What about Now's futures as we head into the actual market open? We're getting that bounce that we spoke about earlier. How high can it go? Maybe back up towards 11,800-ish region. Not really asking all that much from there. And then after that, I really don't have a strong opinion on this. I really don't. So I think it would be a good time for me to refrain from saying anything else. You know, if it does test back up to 11.8, I'd probably be looking for a short-term pullback from there. But other than that, I don't really have anything. I don't have anything to add. You know, if I'm going off of Bitcoin, I'd be looking for this one to pop back to the upside. But this is the first time we've actually seen even like a short-term bifurcated market where Bitcoin's up and traditional markets are down. It's been a long time since we've seen that sort of a signature. Usually it's the other way around, which does signal, you know, relative weakness in that direction. But with Bitcoin, let's just do a nice little follow-up right here. I still like this chart. I still stick with what I was saying earlier today. It looks like it actually wants to bust through right now, especially in line with regular market opening in about 2.5 hours, it looks like. And I'd still be targeting a move towards about 12,100-ish region. This looks good to me on the 12-hour. Looks nice and healthy. 12-hour having a nice cross the upside on Stokes. I'm really watching this one intently, as we did hit, motherfucker, wrong chart. Yeah, there we go. We did hit this long-term trend line going in all the way back from our 9th of September lows, connected with our 23rd of September lows, connected with our 4th of October lows, and then once again hitting it on 18th of October. So this low, this low, this low, and then technically this low as well. So all of these guys in a nice little slew before nice little moves to the upside. In this case, I would essentially be looking the same as historic volatility percentile increases, and expands on the lower term time frames, like our 4-hour and below, and we see the 12-hour RSI get back in the bullish control zone. I like all of these things right now. I'd still be, you know, basically bullish on this one, at least for that move up to just north of 12,000, and then come back after that and check out what's going on. If the daily can close above 12,000, let's call it, I'd extend that move up towards about 12.3, 12.4 region, but a long day left to trade, and realistically, I think this is a good time to kind of just leave it there. As always, there is an invalidation point anywhere below 11,600 problems for Bitcoin, but as you can see right now, this one's being very resilient, consolidating at a high level. This one's very likely to get continuation before anything else. In fact, I'd even go as far as saying that it is in the process of literally continuing right fucking now. So with that said, I want to wish you the best once again. This video a little bit too long, but hopefully for good reason. Take care, and until next time.